In this video, we are back in New York City to check out a little cocktail bar that's getting a lot of hype lately called Super Bueno. Please join us as we try out the food and sample some of their award-winning drinks to see if this spot lives up to the hype and is worth you giving a visit. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are back in New York City, and we are here in Manhattan's Lower East Side neighborhood to check out a cocktail bar that has been rated as the best bar in New York, called Super Bueno. Now, Super Bueno was opened in April 2023 by Ignacio Jimenez and Greg Boehm, and it was opened in the old Boilermaker space. Now, I loved Boilermaker. It had one of the best burgers in New York City, as well as some really good chicken wings and an amazing happy hour, including some tiki drinks. Think $8 Mai Tais and rum runners. However, sadly, it closed in January of 2022. So when I heard of a new spot being opened in the same space, I had to check out the menu. But at the time, I wasn't that impressed by what I saw. However, maybe I was wrong, because since its opening, it has won multiple awards, including being listed number 2 on the best bars in North America list. Since this is actually higher than any other New York bar, that would, by default, make it the best bar in New York City. However, is Super Bueno really worth the hype? And is it really the second best bar in North America and the best bar in New York City? Well, today we're going to check it out, and at the end of this video, we will answer those questions. However, as we head over to Super Bueno, let's see what people are saying about them online. Now, on Yelp, they have a 4.0 out of 87 reviews, and Google, they have a 4.1 out of 385. Some of the positives are the service, the vibe, the food, specifically the grilled cheese, and the drinks. Some of the negatives are also service, food, drinks, and vibe, mainly that it's too loud and crowded. So some contradicting reviews here. Well, let's see how our visit goes, and then we will go over which reviews match our experience and which didn't. Let's take a look at the drink menu here. Now, I will say it's very small, and you know I prefer at least 12 drinks on my menus, and they kind of sort of get to that number, but not really. One of the drinks is a shot, another is frozen, which doesn't work too well when it's 30 degrees out, and then another is a group drink. I would say this menu gives it more of a neighborhood bar kind of feel to the menu than a specialty cocktail bar. Just a bit small of a menu for me. So this sour is delicious. The texture is amazing, and the roasted corn gives it a little smokiness, and that guajillo gives it just a little more complexity. Not a super complex drink, but still a very good sour variation. I love this drink. Well, it looks like our food is here, and I ordered the Birria grilled cheese sandwich. I have to say, I wish you could smell it. It smelled delicious. Now, it comes with this consomme, and you're supposed to dip the sandwich into that, but I'm going to try it both ways. First, I'm going to try it dry without the consomme, although it does look very juicy, and then I'm going to try it the second half with the consomme and see which one I recommend or like better. Wow, this was so good. The spices and the juiciness of the meat really come together. It's not hot, but it has just a little bit of a kick to it, and then the saltiness from that cotija cheese really ties it all together. It's really like a Parmesan cotija cheese, but a Mexican version, and oh, so good. Now, I'm going to try the sandwich with the consommé and see how that goes. And I have to say that actually, once I tasted it, I found the consommé version to be better. Now, don't get me wrong, you could eat this dry by itself, but once you start dipping in the consommé, it's addictive. You won't want to go back. And honestly, the only warning I have is it's messy. So be careful. You'll need a lot of napkins for this, but definitely this is a must try on the menu. Now, this drink definitely fits the name. It has more of a green, almost mango skin taste to it, rather than a juicier, fruitier mango flavor. It definitely isn't super sweet, though it is balanced with some sweetness. I will say that while I am enjoying this drink, and I think it is a good drink, I heard a lot of hype about it before I visited, and it doesn't quite live up to the hype for me. Still a good drink, but I prefer the smoked corn sour. Looks like we are all finished up here, so as we head to the train, I'll give you my thoughts on this bar. Now first, let's go over the positives, neutral, and negatives. For the positives, we really had great service. The issues the reviewers experienced, we didn't have. Of course, I had to put food in the positive category due to that grilled cheese, and the drinks were also very good. For the neutral, I was actually disappointed to see they pre-batch so much since they have such a small menu, but it is what it is. The atmosphere was nothing special, which is why it's in the neutral category, and then we found the bar to be too loud and very difficult to talk due to the music. However, it's in the neutral category because some might really enjoy that kind of atmosphere. Finally, the negatives. The very small menu left me wanting more. They need more variety, and I'll explain more about that a little later. Then when I tried to go off menu, they actually didn't have several key ingredients that I generally would think most top cocktail bars should have. So that was disappointing. Now, this could be a negative side effect of the excessive pre-batching. I don't know. It might cause them to cut bottles that they carry, but that was disappointment, and that's why I put that under the limited stock in the negatives category. So taking these into account, let's answer the number one question. Do we believe this is the best cocktail bar in New York City? Well, that answer is an emphatic no. Now, why do I say this? New York has so many cocktail bars, so to call a spot the best bar in New York is indeed very special praise. It's a very high standard. Being just a really good bar isn't enough. That's the issue I have with Super Bueno. While it does have a good little neighborhood bar feel, it doesn't have that special feel, or I guess you could say wow factor. Let me explain what I mean. When evaluating any bar that is super hyped or has won really high awards like this one, I ask myself these questions to test my opinion and try to be as objective as possible. If somebody visits me from another major city that has incredible cocktail bars and asks me to take them to the best cocktail bar in New York, would I feel proud taking them to Super Bueno? Would I feel that this bar represents the very best of what the New York City cocktail scene has to offer? Would I want them to measure them against the very best bars in San Francisco, Los Angeles, New Orleans, Seattle, Chicago, London, Mexico City, Tokyo, just to name a few? Once I ask myself these questions, then the answer becomes very clear. Absolutely not, because Super Bueno does nothing to stand out from some of the top bars in other cities. In fact, I would also say that it is not only not the best bar in New York City, but also it isn't even the second best bar in the United States. I've been to bars in New Orleans, Seattle, Chicago, and San Francisco that in my opinion are better. Now, I don't want to be too long-winded with this, but I feel like I should explain a little bit more and break down my reasoning. First, the atmosphere. It's okay, but nothing special. The drinks are good. However, not only is the menu small, but I don't see the level of creativity and uniqueness I see from other bars such as Martini's, Dead Rabbit, or Sugar Mount Lounge, a bar which is not even on the 50 best bars list. At the very least, I would like to see more variety. Some darker stirred drinks to counterbalance all the lighter options. This is especially noticeable in the winter, which it is right now here in New York with 30-degree temperatures. So while I don't agree with the Yelp reviews that say the drinks were average, I do agree that they need more variety and creativity. Now for the food. That sandwich was amazing. I loved it. However, the reviews on the tacos and other dishes were correct. I tried them during another visit and I found them to be good, but nothing special like the sandwich. And I can't say a bar is the best bar in the city just based off one menu item. Now in conversation, some have told me that what makes Super Bueno special is the vibe, especially on the weekend and later at night. It has a really fun, cool party atmosphere. However, I don't think vibe should be a main deciding factor in picking a bar. It is a factor, but I think it's toward the bottom of the list, and these are the reasons. First, the problem with vibe and crowd energy is that it can be somewhat subjective. For instance, as we saw from the reviews, some may love a party vibe with loud music. They think it's fun. However, others may want to talk with friends. They might want to relax a little bit more. They want it to be quieter. People mentioned in the reviews that it was loud and the music was pumping like a club and was way too loud to talk. So what could make the bar for one person could ruin the bar for another. Also, I do agree with the reviewer that said this bar is very much skewed for a younger crowd. Secondly, vibe is not reliable. Yes, it can be influenced to a degree by the music and the staff. However, a large part of it really depends on the customer. As a result, the experience will not always be consistent. So these are our thoughts on Super Bueno being the best bar in New York City. I could say way more, but I've already rambled on for way too long. However, if you have any more questions about our reasoning or like some alternative options, please comment below and I will definitely reply. Now, with all that being said, you might think I didn't like Super Bueno, and that's not true. I really had a blast there. The service was excellent, so I definitely disagree with the reviews that said negative things about the service because I didn't experience any problems there. Everybody was cordial and really nice, and they made it a really enjoyable visit. I also enjoyed the drinks, and that sandwich, it was so good. That's why I would recommend that if you live in New York, you should absolutely give Super Bueno a visit. Get that sandwich and maybe the corn sour or the vodka tonic. For us though, while not a bar we would visit regularly due to the small drink menu, we will definitely return and swing by if we are in the area. Now, if you are someone visiting New York City, then I wouldn't put this as a must visit. Put it on your list, and if you're in the neighborhood, maybe visiting Katz's Deli or the Tenement Museum, then absolutely swing by and grab a drink and have that sandwich. However, it is not worth a trip out of your way, in our opinion. Also, if you have been to New York and were in that area but didn't make it, you might be thinking, oh no, I didn't make it to the best bar in New York City. How could I have missed that? Don't worry about it. You definitely did not miss the best bar in the city. In fact, not even close. Well, those are our final thoughts on Super Bueno. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please let us know what you think, or if you have any questions in the comments below. Do you agree with our assessment? Or do you think Super Bueno is the best bar in New York City? If you enjoyed this video, please click like, subscribe, and that bell icon so you get notified of a new video. And most importantly, always drink responsibly. Thank you for watching, and please join us again on Boozy Explorers.